All right, we are live. Our next guest is founded A Path to Greatness LLC in 2020, and he is serious about helping others. Mr. Hogens' value serves as a professional within the community in the field of social services. His main objective is to help people, and his goal is to assist people in understanding who they are, what they are doing, and where they are going. Sports lovelies! Welcome, Ricky Hogan, to Chicks in the Sports Quarantine Edition. Hi, Ricky.
Hello. Everything is great.
Oh my gosh, I'm so super excited to finally speak to you. It's been a while. Let's talk a little bit. How's quarantine life doing for you?
Man, listen, quarantine life is quarantine life, and it's actually great for me. I had the opportunity to sit down and reevaluate some things to move forward.
Awesome. Seems like you got it all together, Mr. Hogan.
Trying to, you know.
Now, most people don't know that Ricky Hogan and I grew up in a small, tiny town called Decatur, Georgia. Ricky Hogan, I went to school with his sister, Lakeithia Hogan, and
That's
you
right.
are my little brother. And let's just talk a little bit about Decatur, growing up in Decatur, from flat shows to McNair High School. Speak on that for a minute.
So, of course, you know, Decatur is where it's greater.
That's what they say.
That's right. Decatur has kind of just made me who I am. As you know, I have a tight-knit family. And, you know, I also had a tight-knit community, that flat shows and East Shows community. It kind of created who I am, and it helped me to go to where I'm at now to start to develop my own path to greatness.
All right, I hear you. A Path of Greatness is definitely the headline for the show today. A Path for Greatness. Remember that, sports lovelies. Now, let's talk quickly about the Atlanta Falcons. I have my little hat to represent today, but
that's right.
Rise up, rise down, rise around. Where are we going? Okay, so when the season does pick back up, we hope sooner than later. It's a possibility if they do pick up, it may not be fans. And so many things that's been speculated about the league. Let's talk about what's going on in some of our new team players. What do you think we shall see in the upcoming season?
I think we're going to have a great season. Every player on the team has something to prove. And when you have something to prove and you have a chip on your shoulder, you are going to excel at levels never seen before.
Todd Gurley, thoughts on that?
Yes, most definitely. So Todd Gurley, everyone's saying he's done. Everyone is saying that, you know, he's hurt, you know, and he's not the same. Even with Julio Jones, people are saying he's getting old. Everyone and their mother has an opinion about Matt Ryan. So, you know, that's a thing within itself. Dan Quinn, you know, he is definitely not even talked about or even mentioned when they're starting to talk about coaches and things of that in the league. So everyone has something to prove.
That's all I'm going to say about that. Because I can sit here and talk about sports all day long. Okay. I'll just leave it there on your plate, not picking it up. So we definitely are looking forward to see what the Falcons have in store if and when the season starts. I definitely want to just give you a brief moment to go down memory lane. Let's talk a little bit about your past career. I know that social services is your background. Let's talk about the last time I saw you. What was the elementary school you were working at?
Yes, it was the elementary school at Dunner Elementary School. I am actually still there. As you know, with the challenges of COVID-19, education probably going to look completely different moving forward.
I can only imagine. We got the kids out of school. We got kids in the process of doing online school. I did not realize that just my naiveness that different households don't have the capability of getting online with computers and have the access or the luxury to have like tablets or anything else. Has that been kind of a hard situation for your school, or have you guys kind of had it had everything covered and got the students online, and everything has been smooth sailing.
Well, we wished it would have been smooth sailing, but of course, as you know, there are a lot of people who do not even have technology. So the expectations for them to complete the necessary assignments and things of that nature online is kind of looking at the situation from a place where we need to make some improvement, because if people do not have the resources and able to succeed, they're not going to succeed to the levels
I
that we want them to.
Right. I get it. I get it. The season, the year is almost over with. Is the school year finished for you guys, or you still got a couple of more weeks?
So for DeKalb County schools, the school year is actually complete. We
Okay.
closed early this school year, which was probably a good thing. And I know a lot of the parents are kind of stressed out from being online teachers and parents as well, because those dual roles that a lot of people was playing, I really commend you on that. That takes a lot.
No, definitely, for sure. I definitely think, just thinking about DeKalb County, thinking about, families out there. Again, my naiveness was like, oh, everybody has tablets. Oh,
Right.
everybody has, internet. And I did not realize that there are situations where no, some families are without, some families just don't have. So I definitely commend DeKalb County kind of just taking it control of the situation and making sure that we can be maybe prepared for the upcoming year that's coming up. Now,
Right.
when you talk about greatness, I know that you guys have always strive to install greatness in the youth, in the young folks out there. Let's talk about your path. Let's talk about your path to greatness. Let's talk about how you inspired those young kids that have very impressionable minds. How do you mold them to understand they can be great, and they are great? It's in them, so how do you help them get to where they need to go?
So the help that I provide, to kind of understand what I do in a nutshell, because it's even bigger than what I do at the school.
Mm-hmm.
It's my purpose driven. I don't know if you ever read the book by Rick Warren, The Purpose Driven,
Mm-hmm.
but it kind of details what I do, because it's more of a spiritual connection that I have to try to help others.
Oh,
And
speak on it.
I feel
Okay.
like it's what I'm supposed to do, and this is my assignment on this planet. So there are a lot of students and there are a lot of people, with students at the elementary school, because they're so young, they're very impressionable. And at that age of development, whatever whatever is being fed to them, especially as it relates to knowledge, may stick with them throughout their whole entire life. And if I could touch one of those lives at a very young age, and they carry that through the process of their entire life, once they become an adult, they can also reshare the information that I have shared with them, and it gets passed on, and it's a generational thing.
Can you say, bringing that back to full circle, that when you install, you as an educator, because again, being in those young kids' life, sometimes you may be that only way out. You may be that only voice to help those kids, mold them to understand that they do have greatness within them. Can you say that you have the ability to help break that generation curse?
It's definitely a work in progress. I don't have all the answers, but every day I strive to be better than I did the previous day. And so I use that as a motivational factor to help me improve upon what I'm doing. So I feel like I can reach as many as possible. And everyone may not hear the messages, because of course I go into the classrooms and do the message, the lessons and things of that nature. Everyone may not hear some of the lessons or the messages. However, I truly believe at some point everyone is going to pick up on, if it's just not but a piece, they're going to pick up on something. And eventually, once that information is kind of marinated in their mind, it will produce a complete thought later on to say, wait a minute, that's what Mr. Hogens was talking about. And that's part of the reason why I do it.
Absolutely, absolutely. I think again, going back to those minds are so impressionable, going back to just understanding that your memory of your childhood, a lot of us remember the good, the bad, and the ugly. And
Right,
sometimes the bad and the ugly stand out more than the good. So just to be able to have someone like you to go out to the youth and just encourage them, that is so honorable, and that you should be commended on that end, and I appreciate you doing what you do and continue to do what you do. Now,
right.
going into a path of greatness, you have a company, you
Yes,
have
I do.
started a company. Let's talk about a path of greatness. Explain, when was your aha moment to start this path for greatness?
Okay. I actually had two different aha moments, and so
Okay.
I can speak to it from a professional standpoint first. So I have several years of experience in mental health. I've worked in several different environments. I've worked in residential care with children. I worked in the community as it relates to children and adults. And now that I'm in education, I'm kind of in a different area of providing that social and emotional support to individuals. And in looking at all of the different areas that provide sources of counseling and help and things of that nature to people, I noticed that they're not necessarily connected. Meaning, so if someone is in residential care, they're pretty much in residential care. And maybe one day they can transition out into the community. But guess what? If I'm in residential care and if it's a for profit business, a business mind is going to say, hey, I need to keep you in residential care. Right. And so now, if you look at on the community side of it, especially when you're looking at insurances, insurances has to approve certain things, right? So let's just say that I'm a person and I'm bipolar, for an example. Guess what? If the insurance company says we're not going to pay for that anymore, as a company in the community, I have to figure out how I am going to deal with that situation. So, will I just say that person is bipolar just to keep them in services, or will I not? Those are some of the compromises that those people have to play. And so if you look at the educational side of it, you really don't get the opportunity to go in to give the support that you need because it's so many, right? So
Mhm.
neither one of the sources really connect or communicate with each other. So what I wanted to do with the Path to Greatness is I wanted to complete and this whole process of connection between the two. However, I wanted to create something that's called life services. And
Hmm.
with life services, there is a connection with everything. And that is the path that gets you to the greatness. And that was from the professional standpoint of why I established a path to greatness. Now, on the personal end of it, I had an aha moment, and this was when I had my very first job. My very first job was at Steak and Shake on Memorial Drive. It's no longer there, but this is when I had my very first aha moment. Um, and at the time, I was a dishwasher and I worked late hours, right? And so there was a person who came into Steak and Shake that night and they was crying. And lo and behold, it was Aaliyah. A lot of people don't even know this story, so this is gonna be the first time they heard it.
Say
And
what now? Who? Huh?
Aaliyah, Aaliyah,
The
Aaliyah,
singer?
the
Okay.
singer Aaliyah, right?
Okay.
And so here I am as a dishwasher, and I'm saying to myself, Aaliyah, like, why would she be crying? Like, she has to have some money. Life has to be going great for her. Like, and she ran to the bathroom. She didn't order anything. She didn't stay. She just went in the bathroom. She came right back out and left. I think she signed one autograph before she left. But at that moment, I kind of said to myself that no one is immune to what happens in life. And so I have to help people create something to get to where they're trying to be because a lot of people have goals and a lot of people have ambitions, and a lot of people actually think money is going to make you happy when it does not, because the mind is programmed to always want more. So even if you get $1,000, guess what? You're gonna want a million. You get a million, you're gonna want a billion. It never stops because numbers are infinite. So those were the reasons why I kind of, in a nutshell, is a lot more, a lot more to it. We don't have the time to go into all of it, but I did want to kind of give that personal example of the experience I had, and also the professional reasons.
Oh my gosh, that is amazing. Again, it goes back to, you never know what a person is going through. Sometimes I also will say that people will carry smiles, and behind that smiles, they could be just torn up inside, and you will never know. In this situation of providing different mental health services, different services offered, what age group do you help? And is there a limit to where, maybe they're too old, or how do you kind of fit that gap?
There is not a such thing as being too old to need help. So I have been an anger management specialist for a while now. It,
Okay.
it, it was actually, doing pretty well. Even though we've been impacted by COVID, I'm still doing pretty good with that. However, I didn't have the opportunity to start to expand until COVID-19 happened, right? So now I have expanded into doing mediation services. So if you are familiar with court mediations or going to a mediator, when you have a dispute, if you have a civil case or a dispute, or even if you have a workplace dispute, I am the person that can come in and help to mediate that situation, and it would be approved by the court if it has to go that far, right? And so during this time, I was able to expand to do that, and I also expanded into life coaching. And I've had some success helping people establish plans to overcome COVID-19. And I
Oh,
think a lot of people are content with the moment. Once you get a stimulus check, or once you're collecting unemployment, or whatever your current situation is in the moment, you kind of feel a little more comfortable. And I don't think a lot of people are planning for what life is going to be after COVID-19, because it's going to be a different world. And I don't think people truly understand how different it's going to be.
you're absolutely right. Looking back at how it used to be to where it's at now, I definitely agree that people don't quite understand the seriousness of how our new normal is and will be our normal. Just from my end of the sports world, it's been upside down, so just really processing everything and trying to get to an understanding that things that we know may not ever go back the way they were. It's a hard thing to process. So how do you get people over that hurdle of getting to the realization that this is our new normal?
Well, I think part of the problem right now is we do not even know what the new normal is going to be, right? And
Mm.
so that fear of the unknown is going to cause a lot of people to fail, because if you have that fear of the unknown, you are not even necessarily going to plan for something because you don't even know what you're planning for, right? So it takes a lot of research and planning to try to almost predict what could happen, to place yourself in a position to plan for it. And that is one of the things that, I do when I provide services, because a lot of people, as an example, if you are a bartender, or if you're a barber, or if you work as a chef, there are certain areas that will allow you to get grants, right? And so I know it's popular right now to get those loans, but guess what? You have to pay those business loans back, right? And so if you get a grant, that's a grant.
Mm-hmm.
And it's all about connecting people to the correct resources, right? Because you hear things like you hear things on the radio, you hear things on the news, but all information is not correct information. And you're going to feel most confident when you get accurate information. And that's what's going to help prepare you for the unknown.
I get it. I get it. This is definitely very a teachable moment for me, Ricky Hogan. Now, please tell us how we can find you. I know it's a lot of people that may have issues and they just need to find someone to help them. Where can everyone find you?
So you can visit my website. My website is www.twogreatness.com. That is the number two. The number two, twogreatness.com. If you have internet access, you will be able to look at my website, and you will also be able to click on direct links to my social media pages, which include Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. However, if you do not have internet services, you can call me directly at 470-333-9314. Again, that telephone number is 470-333-9314. I do understand that a lot of people may be shy as well. You can text me at that number as well. And I would be glad to speak to you.
Ladies, don't text him to hook up. I'm pretty sure he's in a situation. Only serious text, please. Only serious. Okay. That I'm doing that for your sister, Licky. Okay. All right, ladies. Now, okay, guys. We got a special gift for Ricky. I definitely want to play this little game with you. It's the 5 for 5. We always say you have 5 seconds to answer these 5 questions quick, fast, and in a hurry. Are you ready?
I think I'm ready. I wasn't ready for a game, but we're gonna play.
You better be ready. All right, Ricky. What was your first pet?
My first pet was a
What?
A dog. You said pet. You said pet, right?
I said pet.
Right. It was a dog named Frisky. Named a dog.
Oh. What kind of pet? What kind of dog was it?
It was mixed, so I couldn't tell you what kind of dog
it was. A hood dog. Is that what it
really was? I was extremely young at the time.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Best word to describe you.
Relentless.
Love that. One thing people don't know most about you.
I would say most people do not know how much I care about other people being happy.
Aw, that's so sweet. I love that. That's a good answer. Good answer. Okay, superheroes. If you'd be a superhero, who would you be?
If I was a superhero, I would be Superman.
I love that. Superman. Okay. Now, my final question for you is always the serious question.
Okay.
Legacy. When we talk about legacy, when it's all said and done, when you look back upon your life, what would you say your legacy would be?
My legacy is going to be that I was able to create something that was able to change the lives of others and motivate others to achieve levels they thought was impossible for themselves.
I love that. Yes. Thank you so much, Ricky, for chatting with me. Definitely a path to greatness. Ladies and gentlemen, make sure you find him on social media. I know this is impromptu, but I want to give just a couple of words to the graduate 2020 class, all the graduates out there. I want you to just join me in that as well. We got to give the homage.
That's right.
Guys, now, although this is an unusual time and everything that was normal is no more, I want you to understand and remember, never regret a day in your life. Good days give happiness. Bad days give experience. Worst days give lessons. The best days give memories. And above all else, class of 2020 graduates, you did it. You are unstoppable. Ricky, what do you have to say to those graduates?
I would like to say to them, do not be sad about what you think your future may look like as it relates to COVID-19. This is the time where we have innovators, creators, and motivators. This is the time where you're not going to make someone else rich. You're going to make yourself rich by creating something that everyone needs. This is the moment of creativity for you. And you could be that trailblazer to create something for the world. And let me say, if you need my help, I also do career coaching. So again, you can reach out to me for that, and we can discuss the details on that as well.
Go ahead, plug yourself in one more time.
You can reach me at 470-333-9314. Again, that's 470-333-9314. Also, you can visit my website, www.togreatness.com. And I also wanted to let your audience know that I have also expanded into life coaching for athletes. And I really appreciate this platform you have provided for me, because this gives me the opportunity to share that I have just started that as well.
Oh, multi-talented, just multi-talented. Well, Ricky, you definitely got to come back and chat with me. It's been a pleasure. Thank you again. A Path for Greatness. Ricky Hogen is on a path for greatness, y'all. Thank you again, Ricky.
Thank you for having me.
Have a good one.
Okay, you do the same.